Hello, everybody. Modified Rabbit here. Ooh, let's see. Just give me welcome back. If you're new, please go ahead and subscribe. Maybe give the video a like if you end up liking it. If you're, pardon me, woo, the light right, like all of my. Anyway, if you're returning, welcome back, and thank you for coming back to my channel. If you haven't already hit subscribe or anything like that, go ahead and do so. Maybe hit the bell, and like the video. Maybe leave a comment if you enjoy it. Today we're going to be doing a Tati Beauty palette. I won this from the Make It by Design Facebook group that I'm in. Pardon my face today. I have some skin issues. It gets really, really super duper dry and it causes a little bit of damage sometimes. So, um, anyway, I won this palette from the Makeup by Design group along with this, but I'm not going to be using these today. We will be going over this palette though. I'm very excited about it because it looks very pretty. Look at that. One thing I just really want to quick say something about that, it's really cool is that the sides right here, it says glitter for this whole row, metallic, sequin, and matte. So it has like, I love this. This is like a palette for OCD people. This is so organized, this palette. And all the colors, all the shades are, just there, like they're just in their own little sections going this way, and then each row going up has its own name and everything. It's pretty awesome. So each color does not have its own name, which is interesting to me. Like most palettes either don't have any names on the, nothing listed on them, or ooh, that sneeze got me. Whew. Anyway, they'll either not have anything or they'll have a name for each shade. So this is a little different. We've got Memory, which is this whole row up here, and it's a bunch of dark, like black type shades. Ritual, we've got some browns, and then Story, which is some orange shades. Well, we got dark browns right here, and we've got some orange kind of clay brown shade, and then we've got Soothe, which is a light brown. Aura, which seems to be like a peachish skin tone ish look, and then we've got Poet, which is kind of like a purple red. So that's kind of cool. So you've got each one of these like Memory, and we've got Glitter Memory, Metallic Memory, Sequin, and Matte Memory. So that's pretty cool. I thought that was pretty nifty that they did that with this palette. I really love it. It's just like super organized um, and whatnot. So that's kind of cool. Good for them OCD peoples out there. But we've got a big giant mirror, which I don't ever use the mirrors on these. So I have this mirror that comes out from my wall. So the palette does have a little bit of damage to it. Like a couple of the pans, but that's all right. So I guess we'll start with the glitter pans. They look very nice. So hopefully we're just going to jump right into this and do some swatches. I'm very excited about it. So we're going to do this glitter. Should I do... I'm debating, should I do like the whole top row, like glitters, and then go down to metallics, then sequins, then mattes, or should I go this way? Just do all of the Memory, like the glitter, the metallic, sequin, and matte all together, and then keep going down that way. I'm not sure which one I want to do. I'm debating. I guess we'll get it done a lot faster, not wiping stuff off if we go across this way. So we'll go ahead and do that. Oh man, again, that sneeze still got me real good. Gave me them sniffles. Ooh. Okay, so the glitter pan, I feel like I have to be really careful with these little glitter pans. This one's a little wet right there. So a couple of them seem a little more dry than the others. So we'll just have to see about that. We got 4 of these glitter shades. We got Memory, Ritual, Story, and Soothe. That's Memory. Ooh. Ritual, Story, and Soothe. Those are gorgeous. A little bit still sticks to my fingers, but I think it'll go better on like a brush, or I have a little silicone, like a little palette, like a specific little silicone brush that you use to pick up, from glitter palettes and stuff. You just tap those in there and it picks it up pretty good. So if you hear any scratching, it's my puppy down there. He's trying to make himself a little bed. All right, let's get my fingers dried off. We don't want more than necessary to stick to my fingers. Okay, we're going to do the Aura glitter and then the Poet. Right. So we've got Aura and then Poet. Ooh, I like that one. I really love the black silvery shade. So these are the glitter shades. These are gorgeous. They're very glittery person as well, and they are pretty thick and apply really well, at least for swatches. So we'll definitely have to use one of the glitter shades. I might just go ahead and, depending on what shades for swatching give me troubles, we'll see what we really end up doing. But I'm hoping I'm hoping none of the shades give me any troubles for swatching, because that way I can just pick whatever colors I want. And I would love to do kind of use those black shades for a look today. All right, we'll get to these metallic, which are look like foils. So we'll do these foils next. And then we'll get to the sequin, which I'm hoping are actually going to be kind of shimmery. Hello, Bandit. Because that is going to be a huge thing for me, because it does look like it does, these sequin shades, it does look like they have a lot of actual glitter in there, but we're going to see if it's an overboard of glitter or too little when it actually swatches. So we'll find that out here after we get done with these foil shades. So we've got the Memory, Ritual, Story, and Soothe. Hear a bunch of typing. It's my partner. He's playing his D&D thing. Okay, so Memory. Ooh. Oh, man. I really hope I can use it. Ritual. Oh, Story. And Soothe. Oh, my goodness. You guys. Holy crap. Oh, I am loving this so far. Tati did like an amazing palette so far. Like, just with the glitters and foils, I'm happy. I don't know how much this, I'll have to look it up real fast, but I don't know how much this palette retails for, since I won it from the makeup group. But I'm sure it's worth it. Like, all right, kitty hair. I have a cat, but he's not allowed back here, but still, cat hair gets everywhere. He's super duper fluffy. Okay, we're going to do the Aura and Poet metallic shades, the foils. So a little bit more of that Poet. All right, we got Aura and Poet. Ooh. Okay, so these are the foils, or metallics is what they're listed on the palette. Absolutely beautiful. The glitters were beautiful, and these metallics are absolutely gorgeous. I love the black shades on this stuff. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is gorgeous. Ooh. And even though it looks like it's a fairly neutral palette color-wise, it still also looks like it's not at the same time. Like, I could easily see this being a palette that you can do both really normal looks and really pretty glam type looks. I could, even kind of do a couple of gothic looks with it, with the two very ends, the purplish red and the black shades. So it seems like a pretty, like like a fairly versatile palette, even though it doesn't have any like bright colors, like bright whatever's in there. And there's a lot of, neutral browns and whatnot, but it's still like really pretty. Okay, here we go with these shimmer shades, or their sequin shades is what these are. Oh man, I'm nervous about these. Most companies always go overboard with the glitter and it's super dry and it doesn't, like swatch well or anything, or they go underboard with the glitter and it's pretty much just a matte. But like, we're gonna find out. Ooh, it doesn't feel too dry. Am I gonna love these? Oh, because I'm still seeing glitter even after, getting my fingers in that pan. All right, here we go. We've got the memory. I'm gonna cry, you guys. Like that. That is a beautiful color. Look at that. Wow, it's even better than it looks in the pan, you guys. Holy crap. Oh, Tati. Oh, Tati. Oh my goodness. Oh, you made such a gorgeous palette. This is Ritual. Oh my goodness. Story and Soothe. Oh, oh man. You guys have no idea how much I am loving this. Like, there's a little bit of fallout, but I can forgive that. Like, that is so glittery. Like, and it's perfect too. It's not too dry. Oh my goodness. This is like one of the best palettes I have tried. Like, oh my gosh. And this says it's volume 1. I'm wondering if she's got the volume 2 out or what. Okay, we're going to try Aura and Poet, since we can fit those all on my fingers. Here we go. Aura. Oh, that's so pretty. Poet. Look at those. I'm loving the black shades in this palette. Like, you guys, I adore this palette. I haven't even gotten to the mattes yet. I don't even care that much about mattes anymore nowadays, but if the mattes like go well, this is like a perfect freaking palette. Like, this is amazing. And we'll see how much fallout we have later when we actually try and, apply them to the eyes, and we'll see how they actually work on the eyes. But as far as swatching is going, this is absolutely amazing palette. Like, this palette is, oh my god, I love those, the sequin ones. Oh my goodness. I did, like, when I swatched that black, like the memory sequin, I almost cried, you guys. I'm not even joking. I just about cried. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, so blow that off a little bit. All right. We got a little bit of glitter that fell into these matte pans. Okay, we're gonna go with these mattes. Ooh, they feel nice and smooth, kind of silky. Memory, Ritual, Story, and Soothe. All right, here's the matte. Here's matte. Oh, holy crap! That is a black. That is amazing. I love that. Ritual. Yeah, that one's just a little bit streaky. Story. Ooh, that one's good too. Soothe. That one had a good bit of fallout. Okay, so far so good. Pretty decent. The Ritual shade is not as great. I'd probably say that's the worst one out of this palette, and it's still not that bad. So we might have to use that in our actual, when we get to the brushes, just to see and make sure it, isn't like that when we're trying to apply it to the eyes. All right, get this all, my fingers dry so I can get these last two shades. We've got Aura, very silky, and Poet. Aura. Sorry, that one is, you can see it's like very close to my skin. Oh my goodness, I can barely see the difference. Like I can see it better on camera. Okay, and we got the poet shade. Oh, that's pretty good. It's kind of sort of streaky-ish. It seems so when I like stain my finger a little bit, but I think it'd be fine. Just doing like 2 layers of it would be pretty perfect. So that's pretty. This is pretty great so far. This palette is absolutely amazing so far. All right, we can actually start digging in with the with the brushes, and I just threw that away without wiping off the actual swatches from my arm. All right, so since there aren't really many shades, like I think we'll go with the Ritual, Matte, and Poet, and then we'll see about using like maybe the Sequin and Glitter shades of those, like one of those, I guess, because I really want to see. I want to give, you know, Ritual and Poet, like I want to see if they can be like completely redeemed. They're not even that bad, but like out of the whole palette, those are the two, if you even want to call them problematic shades. Like there's just they're not that bad, but wow. All right, so as usual, we've got primed, no prime. I have not shaved my eyebrows, you guys. Like they're growing back. Let's see. Alrighty, so we're gonna start with the Ritual shade because we're gonna just get that down. Okay, so it kind of does what the swatch does, like the initial push down on your eyes. It's it doesn't kind of spread. It kind of just stays right in that initial spot that you put it down, kind of like, you know, on the arm, and the rest of it's a little streaky. So, but it seems to like blend out really, really well though. So I'm liking that because I do want it to be um, pretty light, anyways. So it's all right. We'll just do 2 layers for these because this palette is that awesome. We don't really need 3. I don't even know, like, technically if we even needed 2, but we did it anyways. Blend that out a little bit. Use the diffused brush. Should have shaved my eyebrows today, you guys. Alright. Ooh, that's pretty nice. I like it. Okay, we got that diffused pretty good. So it's a very soft brown, kind of what I wanted to go for. It shows up slightly darker for you guys, which is actually kind of good because then you can actually see it. So I don't want you to not be able to see it. All right, we're going to go with the prime side. Okay, so it does the stick to that initial spot a lot more than the non-primed eye, and does not want to spread that well. But I think just a little bit of working with it. Oh yeah, that's fine. It's not too bad. I'll do just one more. Definitely much darker on a primed eye. Like I know in the past with some of these palettes that I've reviewed, um, we've had, you know, where there was barely any difference with how dark or light it was. Oh yeah, that helps a lot. Just scooting it just the tiniest bit closer. With how dark it light it was, you know, there wasn't very much of a difference. But with this one, there's definitely a pretty large difference with prime and no primer. All right, so we're getting this diffused. These seem so far like to blend out pretty dang well. Like, that's beautiful. My dry skin right there. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna dip into this matte poet shade. Okay, so it kind of does similar, at least for the non-prime side. It spreads a little bit better than the brown shade, right? Than that ritual, but it still kind of wants to stick in the main spot, so you're gonna want to make sure that you get it all spread out real good. We got one more. A little bit out there. Okay. I don't think I really want to do anything with my under eye area this time. Gonna be a little bit lazy for this. I'm not doing under eye. Blend these. So these blend. Oh, these blend really well. That's very pretty. That's pretty. All right. Now let's go with the primer side and see how it goes. The like stippling motion definitely is not going to work for getting this spread around, so kind of have to drag the brush across your lid real good for this red shade, because this red shade is not itchy. My eyes get like super dry, you guys. It's awful. With my dry skin right there. It's getting so dry. I even put plenty of moisturizer on. It's just I have some like issues with my skin. It's like extra dry. All right. Like I get like my hydro camel concealer and stuff whenever I use the concealer. Got to do the hydrated one. Okay, this is a much prettier color on the primed eye. It's still a little hard to spread, but it's not that bad. Like, it's not like the easiest to spread, but it's not the hardest either. It's just, I'm just gonna work. I gotta work with it a little bit. Isn't much, not really a new thing having to work with the shadow, like especially reds. Reds are, a little bit more of a pain in the bum. Okay. So that's pretty. Yeah, it looks so much better on the primed eye. All right, so we're gonna dip into we're gonna do these reds, and we're gonna do the sequin on this outer section right here. Ooh, that like dusts off really a whole bunch. See how these? Oh no! Oh no! Did I just find a downside of this palette? I mean, the shade shows up so well, like, but we're gonna not tap it off this second. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so you still have to, you gotta deal with that glitter fallout. Um, it's not as glittery when you apply it to your eyes, sadly. Let's see, at least not for the unprimed side. We're gonna find out with the prime side. Just a little bit here. so gorgeous. Okay, so we're going to try it swiping it like we did on the other side. It's a little bit, not too horrible. Okay, the glitter doesn't fall off too much on the primed side, but you're going to probably want to prime it a lot. See, if you tap your, I might have to do that again. If you tap your brush, the glitter likes to just completely fall out. So you're gonna have to. Luckily, I'm not seeing any actual fallout from the shade itself. It's just glitter, glitter fallout. So not horrible, but there's a little bit. It's not anywhere near as glittery, sadly, when it comes to actually being applied on the eye. So I'm kind of bummed about that. It's way more glittery on the swatches. And it kind of makes me want to try out a little bit of this black sequin shade. All right, so let's try a little bit of that. We're going to try this black sequin shade. Okay, that one actually is a little more glittery. We're just going to do one little bit of that on each side. Okay, this black one's a little more glittery than this red one. It's still not anywhere near as much glitter as, you know, when you initially like swatch it on your hand, like your arm or your skin or whatever. And if you want to blend it out, you're gonna blend a lot of that glitter off of there. So yeah, so I'm kind of bummed about that, but it's all right. Sad about it. That kind of makes these sequin shades a little, you know, like useless, I guess. But the matte shows up way better than the actual matte. So I guess you could use those instead of the actual mattes. All right, so we're going to use the metallic poet shade in the inner corner here. We're going to do 2 passovers like we've been doing. Very pretty. It shows up very well. Definitely on the prime side it shows up. You don't even need like a second pass, but we're going to do it anyways just to see the difference on both. Very, very pretty. Okay, and we're going to do the glitter shade. Let's see how it works with a normal brush. Ooh, a normal brush picks that up so well. Okay, we're going to go apply that in the middle. Okay, we're going to go with the second pass on it. And that's like an unprimed eye right there, so that's really pretty. It honestly doesn't really pick up any better on the primed eye. I wonder if it kind of is a little worse, actually. Okay, it's not any better on either side, so, but it's still really gorgeous, so good. Very pretty. That is very pretty. I am definitely loving the reds and the blacks for this palette. All right, so review. All that Okay, so all in all, I love the palette. Let me see really quick. Tati volume 1. We're gonna see how much that. That's Morphine and Jacqueline. Here it is, like a $30 palette. So it's anywhere, you can get it anywhere from like 16 on certain sites for say on sale to like $30, it looks like. So I would say that it's pretty damn worth it, for like 30 or less. It's a really pretty palette. I really wish the sequin shades would have worked out like the swatch. I would have been so happy. Like swatching them almost made me cry. Like that's it was absolutely gorgeous, like swatching them. But the glitter doesn't really transfer over very well. I think if you use it not over a matte shade and you use it just directly on the the primer on your eye, I think that would probably help them actually, stick really well. Let me see. We're gonna test that out real quick. Let me get my primer. Where is it? There we are. We're gonna do it on my arm because I'm really curious to see that, because if if it does better on an actual like primed piece of skin, like with a picked up with a brush and stuff, I will be very happy, because we got to test all that out. Alrighty, here we go. Let's grab this. We're gonna do this black sequin shade because it was my favorite. Oh, okay, so it's still not quite as good as the like actual swatch did, but let's pull up. Pretty dang close. Like at least it's much better, very much better than putting it over the mat. So if you just use this by itself without putting it on top of something, goodness, it's a lot of fallout stuffs. So that's how that looks. It's pretty sparkly. So I think that kind of makes it a lot better if you use them like that. So that's so much better to me. Is that's not bottom of the pan. That's okay. Yeah, that's not bottom of the pan. I would have been disappointed. That's just a random weird chunk of silver glitter in there. Um. Anyway, all in all, I think this palette is pretty awesome. Like it's up there in some like this is one of my favorite palettes now. Like this is up there with my favorite palettes. And one of my favorite palettes is the Pat McGrath palette that I have. So um, this is beautiful quality. Like Tati did amazing with this palette. So the glitters are absolutely gorgeous. I have no problems with those. As you can see, they're beautiful, and I'm sure if you apply them directly onto more of a primed eye or something like that, they'd be even better. um, the metallics are pretty great. It does really, it's pretty shiny. It's not like like super duper shiny, but it's a metallic, so it's definitely a foil, and it does well. So they're very pretty. I love it. Um, the sequins, like I said, if you use it by itself, like over the primer or whatever, you reprime your eye after using certain things, it's just it the glitter shows up a lot more. Otherwise, you're not really going to get much of that glitter showing up. Um, the shades themselves, it's much better than a lot of companies for the little shimmer shades, the sequins, um, because a lot of, like I was saying earlier, a lot of companies, they either it's too much matte and there's hardly any glitter in the pan, and you can tell just by looking at the pan that when you swatch it, it's just going to be a matte because the glitter just falls off what few specks of glitter that are in there, and it's usually just on the top of the pan, and it's horrible and disappointing, and I hate it. This was not like that. Or it'll have too much glitter, and not enough of the pigment, and it'll be dry and fall out everywhere. And that wasn't the case with that either. So it was a really good in between. It's not absolutely perfect because, again, it really needs to go by itself in order for that glitter to show up for the way that I swatched it earlier. That almost made me cry. But that's not really that bad. That's still pretty dang good. Like, most companies really screw it up when they do these tiny little shimmer shades, like, really bad. I hate it. I really hate seeing shimmers inside um, most palettes because of that. So I really enjoy that part of this palette too. So the mattes are pretty silky feeling. Um, they blend out beautifully. It doesn't really take that much work. You are going to have to, work at it just a tiny bit at least, but it doesn't really take that much work to get them to blend out and everything. There's not really, I, I don't have, yeah, there's no fallout other than just some, glitter, which is going to happen with when you do stuff that's got glitter in it. So that's kind of, that's almost impossible to avoid just a little. And there's not even that much, it's just a little bit. So, I didn't really have any fallout issue, even when I wasn't tapping off my brush. So um, the colors show up really amazing on the prime dye and even the unprimed. Again, they blend beautifully. This palette is almost perfect for me. Like, it's almost perfect. Like, there's just a, like, this ritual shade just really doesn't, like, it. You have to really get it in there a couple times to get it all over because it doesn't like to drag across your eye and actually, go across very well at first. So you kind of have to dip it back in a couple of times to get it in there, but that's really not that bad. And it's just pretty much that one shade, maybe a little bit on this one, but two shades out of all of them doing that. And it doesn't even, do that bad of a job with that. Um, it's pretty good. Um, those are probably the downside of the palette. That's about it. Like, there's not that much of a downside to this palette. It's absolutely amazing. It's gorgeous. You can use it for glam looks. It's so organized. I love it. Like, my OCD little heart is just like, thank you. Just glitter, metallic, sequin, matte, and all the shades are in a row. Like, this is what I would do for a palette. Like, I'm not even joking, you guys. Like, it's you have all the different versions of one shade. I love it so much. Like, it's just all so organized, and it just gives you every version of each of the shades that are in this palette. Like, you've got the glitter, you've got the foil, you've got the little shimmer shade, and the matte. Like, what more could you want with all these shades? It's absolutely gorgeous. Like, the only thing you could want is just more colors, like, it'll be like, I'm sure she's going to put out different colors for volume 2, or if she has plans for volume 3, like how many volumes she has, I'm sure she'll put out more colors. So I mean, this is amazing. Like, I love this palette, and it's definitely worth like the $30 you gotta pay for it or whatever, or less if you catch it on sale. But I love this palette. This is one of my favorite palettes now. It's going in my big makeup case because it's not getting left behind when I go to like shoots and stuff. Like, I am definitely going to use this for my glitter goth look. Whenever I do that for a photo shoot, this is getting used. This is what I'm going to use because it's got everything I need. I love this palette so much, you guys. Like, this is up there. Like, this is going to be one of my favorite palettes. It's I love it. Like, I would pay like this pallette's worth more than $30 to me. So I'd say, you'd go up there like $60 palette. Like, I'd be like, yeah, this is totally worth that. Like, this is an amazing palette. Like, so that little blue thumbs up. Yes, this is great. Anyway, so again, I don't really see a whole bunch of a downside to this palette. And as per usual, I'm do my best to not be biased. I'm not, I don't dislike Tati. I don't, I'm not a fan, but I'm not a fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just kind of like neutral on Tati. I know of her. I haven't watched like a crap ton of things. I know what's going on with drama wise and stuff, but um, putting any of that stuff aside, like this palette, just quality is absolutely amazing. Like my fingerprints show up so well on this. The quality is amazing. It's got plenty of shades for like neutral looks, glam looks. You do a little bit of a dark, little goth vampire-ish type look. You got them reds and blacks and stuff. It's gorgeous. They blend amazing. There's no fallout. I had no fallout. I mean, just the sequin, the little shimmer shade, you just want to make sure you put it directly on a primer. Otherwise, you're just going to end up, with not much of the glitter. So, but if you put it directly on a primer, you're going to get all the glitter. So, like, it's beautiful. And this shimmer shade's about made me cry. So, this is amazing. I love this palette. Thank you to the Mega by Design group, admins and mods. I love this palette so much. I am so happy that I was so excited when I found out that I won this palette. I was so excited, and now I'm even more extra glad that I did, and I'm just so happy. So that is the review for the Tati Beauty palette, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Again, leave a comment in the comment section if there's a specific palette that you want me to try out. Maybe I'll have it. You never know. If not, then maybe eventually one day I'll get it. But there's also a link in the description if you want to donate towards, any little bit helps. I could, put it towards the channel, put it towards a palette that more than one person's wanting me to review, anything like that. So, the new camera that I'm wanting to get, because even after working with this camera and getting it sorted out, it's still it's still got its issues. Um, so yeah, if you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, hit the bell. I would love that. And I really hope to see you guys next Sunday at 8 p.m. EST, same time. So I'm not sure what palette I'm going to pick yet, so I guess it'll be a surprise. So yeah, I'm not great at saying goodbye, so I guess we're just going to go bye.